there was a UN zone patrolled by UN that no US were allowed in. And in that was what was supposed to be the Iraq border. There was a big berm, and then a giant tank trap, which was a 15-foot deep, 15-foot wide trench.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the difficult thing about getting these smugglers in and out, was that they had to negotiate that trench. Now, there are smugglers in that trench in some places where the sand was loose, was kind of eroded down, and they get in and out. But some places it would have been really hard. And matter of fact, one time down in that ditch, we found a human skeleton.
Ugh.
And I don't know if it was somebody had been murdered and thrown in there, or somebody got in there and couldn't get out. Who knows? Probably murdered and tossed.
Do these things like...
And
So you went over the border and you went after them.
Yeah, it was funny. We passed. There was some tiny Afghan checkpoint there. Two little guys in a little rock building with a Jeep, and they go, "You can't go past here." And I was like, "We're going," and I just shut up. And we left and drive, and they tried to follow us and broke an axle or something, and fall. And so we go a couple kilometers down this dirty dirt half road, and suddenly I look behind us and I see a plume of dust coming up, and it's some car, and it's really going fast, and it's coming towards us. So we're like, okay, boys, it's on. So we get out, turn, and then the car comes sliding to a stop, and the door opens, and out jumps this Afghan officer. And it's funny, he's wearing body armor that I had given him my body armor when he went forward.
Mm.
And he jumped out and he ran up to me, and he was almost crying. He started hugging me and all that. And this story he tells is that he and his driver were driving that truck, and just a little further ahead than where we were, they rolled up on a Pakistani checkpoint.
Mm.
And he had him stop the vehicle and turn it off, like the hill beside the checkpoint, while they're trying to figure out what to do. And now he's in a bad place, because technically that would not have been good if a officer of the Afghan military, and the military doesn't even know about it,
Yeah.
is
A lot of problems.
a lot of problems. So he told when the people in the checkpoint were yelling at them to stop and wanted to come and check them out, and he told his driver, "Turn the truck back on. Let's get out of here." And the battery wouldn't start.
Oh, no.
So it wouldn't start. So he told the driver, "Just tell him I'm the guy that paid you to ride here," and because that guy was a refugee, had a refugee card and all that. And he jumped out of the car and started running, or out of the truck and started running. He said he heard 2 shots. He don't know if they were shooting up in the air or shooting at him.
Oh, my God.
And he said for over an hour, I ran in wadis and hid and just kept running and got back. And then he said, I got back to that village, and they told me, "You guys went this way." So I grabbed the car and gave a guy some money, and here I am. And so then we turned around. All of us now, we're not secret anymore.
Yeah.
And
You're still in international issues at the moment.
Yeah, somewhat.
Yeah,
But
so,
no, but we got out. Now my biggest worry was we didn't have always, when you go in somewhere, you want to come out a different way. Unfortunately, in those vehicles and where we were, there was not another way. So I was worried a little bit that somebody could have put an IED in place, but they didn't. We made it back, and with no incidents, right? Nobody got hurt.
It's crazy how a story like that, with so many potential international implications, if one thing goes wrong, comes out like a comedic story, though.
Yeah,
It's pretty fucking
it
funny.
Is. It is funny. Well, yeah. Because funny stories, I've got one on Kuwait, but there was a time that my hubris got me stuck in a hole, and I thought I was going to
In a
become
hole.
yes, in a ditch. Let me say that.
Okay.
Um, I mentioned before in Kuwait, I would get people in and out of Iraq. Or
This is
I said,
'02.
did I
Yeah.
say Kuwait? I'm not sure where I was, but
Somewhere in and around.
there was
Yeah.
a border, and this border, there was a UN zone patrolled by UN that no US were allowed in, and in that was what was supposed to be the Iraq border. There was a big berm, and then a giant tank trap, which was a 15-foot deep, 15-foot wide trench.
Oh yeah.
And that was the difficult thing about getting these smugglers in and out, was that they had to negotiate that trench. Now, there's smugglers in that trench in some places where the sand was loose, was kind of eroded down, and they get in and out. But some places it would have been really hard. And matter of fact, one time down in that ditch, we found a human skeleton.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was somebody had been murdered and thrown in there, or somebody got in there and couldn't get out. Who knows? Probably murdered and tossed.
Do these things, like, the thing I'm picturing, I don't know if I'm like way off in picturing this, is the hole in Dark Knight Rises that they put Christian Bale in. You know what I'm talking about?
I didn't see that.
Can we pull that up? Dark Knight Rises hole. For people, am I wrong, Alessi, to be thinking of it that way?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're
It's like he's trying to get out of the hole.
Oh,
Yeah, like that.
yeah.
See him climbing up the side. Get one with him.
Oh, yeah.
To the left. Right
Okay.
there. Yeah.
So
am I right?
Well, okay. So this is 15 feet by 15 feet.
Yeah, this one was probably 30.
And then the dirt that they took out of that, they used to make a berm, right, on the outside. So this one time, now I mentioned to you when we were not on camera that I had an agency guy who was not military background that was with me doing these ops. I was pretty much the tactical expert, and he was the intelligence expert. And I kind of figured I had enough skill to help him through what needed to be done tactically. And to be honest, the policemen that were working with us were just inept idiots, and I had to stay really close to everybody, and I would physically move people and whatever that I needed to do to keep people safe. But the Iraqi that we picked up that evening had been lost like 3 hours in that ditch.
Oh, wow.
Trying to get out. And now we're really, really running late and behind, and I had to get him to this secret facility where the agency people can debrief him, and then I got to get him back. And so when we get ready to take him back, one of these local police that we were working with goes, I know this ditch. I know a place where it's easy. It's not collapsed in, but there's things you can hold on to and you can get out easy. Let's go there. So let's go. So we go to this ditch, and it was literally a 15-foot drop down in there. So how am I going to get this guy in here? So we held him by his arms and draped him over the side, and then dropped him so it wasn't that far of a drop. And that was fine. He lands, he goes. But now, imagine this, like you can see the picture sitting there. I'm sitting on the side of this ditch. I've got NVGs on. So I'm
NVGs?
Night vision goggles. So I'm watching what he's doing, and he's feeling the other side, and he's moving, and he's feeling, and he's like, and then every once in a while you see him lift a leg and and he's nothing, and he's moving, and we were sitting there, and he's like, he's not getting out. He's not going to get out. And now I'm sitting there, and we're sitting here, and any minute an Iraqi patrol might come by. And the two things I'd been told was, don't get anybody killed and don't start the war till the president does. And so I'm thinking, okay, we're sitting here watching this guy and it's not going to happen. And that's where my hubris comes in. You know, I'd been in Delta. I've learned how to climb buildings and stuff on the outside, done all that stuff. And I'd been a avid rock climber before. So I'm like, I'm good.
I'm going to climb that.
I'm good.
Oh, my God.
So I tell the guys, and okay, these were clowns, these policemen. And then I have a non-tactical guy.
I didn't know there was such thing as Iraqi policemen.
Well, they weren't Iraqi. Did I say Iraqi? They weren't Iraqi. They were a neighboring country.
I didn't know there was such thing as Kuwaiti policemen either. But
yeah,
continue.
who would think? So I have them hold me by the arms and drop me down into this ditch.
Then they walk away.
So they're standing there. So I walk over. I move to somewhere. I get the guy up on my shoulders. I get him up to a perch. He gets out. I'm like, I'm good. And I go back to this place where there actually was a place where there was a right angle in this ditch. And I'm going to brace myself and climb out. But I didn't. And then it turned into I couldn't.
Oh, no.
And then there were nothing I could brace on that was steady enough, and I couldn't get out.
Did you have a comm on you?
No.
Oh, no.
And then I'm in this, and I'm like, and then I'll start walking up and down and looking for a place, and I'm like, I can't get out. Then I start thinking, an Iraqi patrol's going to come by. I go, I'm going to get captured because I'm stuck down in a hole. I'm a big badass former Delta CIA person. Well, at that time I wasn't CIA. I'm a big badass former Delta Special Forces guy, and I'm going to get captured because I'm stuck down in a hole. I didn't care about can I get killed or will I be in a prisoner of war. I thought everybody's going to laugh at me when I get out.
And you're going to be the guy that started the Iraq War.
Well, I was worried everybody's going to laugh at me like, what a dumbass.
I'd have been more worried about starting the war, but that's just me.
But so I was down there and I was like, oh, this is really sucks. How am I going to explain this? And then I was thinking about it, but thank God, this really taught me a lesson about evaluating people on their turf. Because it was that agency technical guy, right? And he, very technical-minded person. And he, I had him, or maybe it was even his idea, but he took off his boot laces and tied them together and was able to make a loop in that and lower that enough to me that I could get one foothold using that and then get up to where I was able to climb the rest of the way and got out.
So was he like laying over the edge with his whole body?
I can't remember how he was or braced, but I didn't need a whole lot of help, but I needed some help. And if it hadn't been for this guy who I tended to want to discount, right? With his abilities out there, badass Gary would have
started the Iraq War.
Started the Iraq War, or been one of those skeletons you find
oh my God.
in there. But yeah, so I got out. Now immediately after that, I went into town and bought a collapsible aluminum ladder that I never went anywhere without.
How do you carry that like a brick almost, and it just?
No, it was just like you would buy at Home Depot or something. It was, but we would just hoof it to where that ditch was, and that way we could climb down it and then just move it to the other side and climb up.
Okay, I see. For that issue in particular.
For that issue, because we weren't hiking a great distance by foot.
Yeah, I was picturing you guys just carrying a ladder around Iraq for like the next 2 years. I'm like,
no, we were in vehicles.
Although apparently, if you carry a ladder somewhere, you get let through security every time. I don't know if you ever seen this video.
No.
Oh, we don't need to pull it up right now, but like guys will test out just like two dudes carrying a ladder together, and they'll walk into stadiums just like right by security, like, oh yeah, we're just going this way. People are like, oh, they must be working on something. So it's low key actually like a really good access tool. Thank you guys for checking out this clip. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and hit the like button on this video. It is a huge help. And if you'd like to check out this clip's full podcast episode, that link is in the description below or right here. And finally, you can follow me on Instagram and X by using the links in my description below.